Not like that. I do it nicer.
Good evening. It's Cinco de Mayo. Yes, it's Thursday, May 5th, 2022. It's Margarita Day.
I always rather liked
Woo!
Thursdays.
Margarita.
I always rather liked Thursdays.
Margaritas and tacos. All right. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. I am RisenLadyHeathen. Hey, asshole, what separates our show from other millennial news podcasts?
Hopefully, a ridiculous distance.
We have a boomer, and not just any boomer. We have Mr. Boomer Rex himself.
Yeah, good evening.
You two eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and I'm learning that's 3 unique perspectives we share along with the facts from our literal round table. Let's dig right into our headlines. A Ukrainian woman died inside Azovstal steel.
No good. Shoot Russian troops in the penis.
Natalia Lehovska, say
Yeah.
her name.
Yeah.
Natalia Lahovska.
So she joined after her son was killed
Oh, fuck.
in that steel plant in Mariupol. So
Joined what? What's going on here?
she
Explain
joined the
situation.
Azov regiment.
What's that?
That's the one that's defending Mariupol.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're in the steel
far-right
factory. They've been
partisan
trapped there for weeks
unit.
and so forth and
Yep.
so on. They're fighting for Ukraine.
Aye.
So
No, this is the worst part about it, right? Every group that exists is going right. This is the shitty thing about final stands.
Yep.
Even for bad men fighting, right? Or men I disagree with. A lot. Ukrainian politics is very complicated, but there's going to be a great video of them doing daring things when it works out and tragic things when it doesn't against shitheads who are indisputably bad fucking people.
And don't fucking care.
Yeah.
So in any case, Natalia Lehovska rejected 2 offers to surrender. She says she goes until the end. There's
Yeah.
no point in crying or begging.
Hold court in the street.
And I want people like Putin not to exist on Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way to go. So let's see if we can bring her Putin's head on a platter.
Right.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I
It'd
Make
make
hope
a
with
nice
people like
decoration
Putin
for
or
her
people
grave.
like
I
her.
hope that she gets one of the turns and the people who are going to be torturing him and whatever whereafter there might be. All right. Let's... Oh, do you have more to say about that before I scooch us ahead?
Natalia Luhovska was her
Yeah.
name.
Natalia Luhovska. You are our favorite. We love you.
Let's fuck you twice.
Rest in peace, my dear. Seriously, you deserve it. And go be with your son. Okay. Rape tolerant GOP candidate Robert Regan. What's going on with him?
So the GOP candidate, right, who joked that he'd tell her daughters to lie back and enjoy rape.
Because he's a stick son of a bitch.
Now, the good news
Sorry, it
is-
just popped out.
He was heavily favored and lost.
Good.
So anyway.
May that be a sign of things to come.
He's a Republican candidate for the Michigan. Oh, we got to get his name. Robert Regan. He's a Republican candidate for the Robert Regan. Don't forget that name.
Okay.
He's,
So what were you telling me about Robert Regan?
that he told his daughters to lie back and enjoy rape. if
Fucking
it was inevitable.
scumbag.
Such a scumbag.
So anyway, he was a candidate for the Michigan House of Representatives. Lost an election. He was heavily favored to win. To a Democrat. Way to go.
I hope
fucktard.
his wife divorces him and uses that line to get custody of their children.
I love it.
Because
Yeah.
fuck him.
Anyway, shocked voters when he made his rape comment during a live stream.
Probably shocked his wife and his daughters too.
Well, it was sponsored by the Michigan Rescue Coalition, which supports former President Trump's, baseless claims that the 2020 election was stolen.
Of course.
So he knew what audience he was talking to.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure they were all about it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
anyway.
those women, rape them, and make them have babies, cause no abortion for you.
Well, if it's just stopped
And
at
that's
the
the
end of
only
cats
use
or whatever,
Republicans have for women is babies.
and recognize that the internet kids are the real alpha males.
Oh, my next meme, y'all are gonna love.
They're
You're really
cool.
gonna love it.
They're
It's gonna
leveled
be
a
good.
bajillion D, prestige,
Yeah.
whatever, ranked interpreter.
So that'll go up tomorrow after our YouTube gets
Excellent.
posted. It's good. I've been saving this one.
Okay.
All right, are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
Trump may have to give DNA. Oh my God, this
and
amuses
this
the
isn't
shit out of me.
newsworthy.
This is for
except
the yeah.
I can't imagine anything he would find more humiliating
And we lost the
Let us
thing.
hope this happens.
Uh-huh.
So lawyers for writer E. Jean Carroll will be ramping up her lawsuit. They've agreed to go back into fact discovery and so forth. And the lawyers can demand that Trump provide DNA samples to be analyzed against a stain on a piece of clothing. Wait a minute, we have a stain on a dress again? Okay.
This is that woman, yeah, who in 1990s claims that he raped her and has a stain on her dress with his DNA.
Yeah, raped her in a changing room. And so, anyway, I find it amusing, and I think it would be wonderful if Trump had to give a DNA sample.
Yep. Oh my gosh, yes, no. What would be even better is if this stain actually is his.
Yeah.
Because my bigger concern is it comes back either inconclusive. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say it's definitely his. If it comes back
Tartar sauce.
not his, then that'll be very disappointing
Fair.
and annoying. But anyway, we'll see.
What made you think of tartar sauce?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't question anything. My brain just says, here, throw this out there, see what happens.
Okay.
Here's a word.
It's really
It's
weird
similar.
inside my head.
Whatever.
Why?
Tartar sauce, sperm, same fucking difference.
Turns out the stains are pretty similar.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Trump suggested secret missile strike on Mexico. How do you secretly strike missiles on
You need
Mexico?
an external fight to get a real fascism going.
Mexico, run! He's after you again.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a lot of the like cop shouting "Stop resisting," but different.
So anyway, Mark Esper says Trump questioned him about the possibility of launching missiles into Mexico to, quote, destroy the drug labs. Yeah, right. And wipe out the cartels, maintaining that U.S. involvement could be kept secret. Guys, that's not possible. But anyway, when Esper raised objections, Trump says, well, we could just shoot some Patriot missiles to take out the labs quietly. And then he said, I'll just say the United States has not conducted the strike. And hey, orange fucktard, Patriot missiles are surface to air. So shoot away.
They have stealth drug labs held up in the air with
Fly.
balloons.
Okay, yeah. All right.
That's also where they
That's what
keep
that
all,
video of the
all
bird
the
hitting.
pedophiles. That's
In
where
their
they hang out
airships.
too.
Yeah.
So,
That's what the clouds are.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Clouds
birds
are
aren't
drug
real.
labs.
That's where they hide drug labs and pedophiles.
That's why birds aren't real. They're just drug couriers.
Yeah, that's where they take your food up to be analyzed by the
Okay,
Pentagon. That's
y'all,
where they
we
ding for
just
shit.
went on this rant to show you how absolutely ludicrous this all is. We don't
Fluoride.
believe any of it.
No.
It's insane.
It's a fucking gumbo of stupid things.
No,
and
we made the
half-understood
mistake
things.
once of not being good enough about prefacing or whatever, and we got
Yeah.
in trouble with YouTube, so not doing it again.
It's
No.
like Uncle working in Nintendo nonsense. It's just made up bullshit.
I just love that. Shoot some Patriots at them.
Yeah, because that's totally gonna...
The man really thought our stealth fighters were fuck off invisible, and like that'd be cool, but
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
As in optically
Mhm.
invisible?
He also thought drawing a boob on a hurricane map was going to change the direction of a hurricane. So
fuck Alabama. He tried to voodoo you with a fucking hurricane.
Yeah.
with
That's
a
fucked up, yo.
boob.
I've said some rude shit about Alabama, and I love you dearly. I did grow up there, but
I've always wanted to do more than just drive through there on my way somewhere else. How about
nah,
that?
he didn't. But
With a very few exceptions, Alabama's a good place to drive through.
some places are nice.
Is that
Yeah.
the place that I saw the weird sign?
Probably.
Was that Alabama?
I'm gonna say it.
We
Alabama.
got hookers
Yep.
or whatever. Like,
Our hookers are the best. I don't remember.
Yeah.
our hookers are the best. It was something ridiculous.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I could see that on a truck stop sign.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
this was
Like a restaurant.
I don't know.
Oh.
Or a fishing thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what did that billboard just say to me?
It would
It
make
said
sense.
next exit.
It would make sense for it to be a bait shop.
Yeah.
Right. You could probably make up a good line on
No, it was funny, but it just I was like, what did that fucking sign just say to me?
it.
Like,
We
this
should
is
probably
not
fire
okay.
a Patriot missile at it.
Right. Barnabas to the Patriot batteries.
Okay, trouble in MAGA paradise. What is going on?
You don't like Trump Tard Paradise?
We were deciding to stay away from the Trump tards because
too bad.
that's an inappropriate thing to say on the interwebs, sir.
Gonna get us canceled.
Right.
Yeah.
All the autism.
All this cancel culture.
So anyway, they had this big shady grift audit going in Otero County, New Mexico. You have to understand, this county voted overwhelmingly for Trump.
Yeah.
Right? But it was election fraud in Otero County that prevented Trump from becoming president. And it just, the whole premise is stupid.
I mean, it's just like
So
the whole number line thing. Like, yes, it was a lack of, there was a negative amount of, ergo. If they had just done
they
more.
rounded up some fool's money, and had an audit done, spent thousands of dollars in doing the recount to announce a finding of no election fraud.
Well, good, I guess.
Yeah, well, anyway, what really happened was the folks who were paid to find election fraud got scared and ran away. But now the wonderful thing is that Lynn Wood is after them.
Yeah.
And he announced that two of those people, David Clements and another far-right far-right podcaster, Joe Altman, were leaving Fightback's board. Wood accused Clements of associating with Freemasons. Now, see,
I haven't heard that one in a fucking while.
I know, they're just retreading
Oh
like
my
crazy.
god.
Yeah,
But at least that's well-established ground. Like, it's weird to find these little mountain or ocean mountains of conspiracy theory land.
Yeah.
No, I think you got the occasional smart person that's like, watch this,
Right?
poke.
Yeah. So anyway, they're just sweeping another one of the standard conspiracies into the Hugh soup. Anyway,
It'll work. It's fucking intellectual cotton candy.
Yeah, just no value at all.
No, there was a fabulous thing I used to play as a child. There's a flavor of vampires who were all crazy, and there's this thing called Malkavian chess. Basically, any move you could justify, you could have. Like, we found oil reserves here, and this is a mercenary force that I'm bringing in. If you could articulate, and that's what it is. And the problem is, I hate that. It's the same kind of shit you run into with like really hippie people, and like when you're both on drugs.
Yep. So anyway, the next thing that Linwood did was urged his followers to research the Red Shoe Club. Are you familiar with the Red Shoe Club?
No.
Oh my
I've heard
God,
the
I
name.
love it when I can get asshole
What is
and
it?
Risen
No,
to
fuck.
sit there
Not
with
gonna-
puzzled looks.
I have
Which
long
is
shit.
where-
I'll find a phone.
It's a reference to a conspiracy theory that claims that people who wear red shoes secretly torture children.
Jeez.
Now, Linwood's fans were quick to share a photograph of Clement wearing red shoes. So, God, you gotta love it. So,
I have a pair of red shoes. Does that
I love it when
automatically
they're-
make you a fucking pedophile? Or
if
just,
you wear them.
I have
To the
worn them.
crazies.
Yeah, well, I don't
Who
know
knows
what to
what's
think
on
of you
So
anymore.
does that mean that my rainbow shoes, or my sandals that I have that are rainbow, makes me lesbian rather than bisexual or something?
I can tell you that
Oh,
there
probably.
are
Or
millions
transgendered? Like maybe I'm a guy?
This is numerology for
secretly?
kids that don't like math. Like, this is the dumbest part of all of this.
Yeah, this is just psychosis run
Yeah.
wild. But I love the fact that it's the idiot right shooting at the idiot right.
Yes.
I love that. And it's so much fun. Of course, it's Lynn Wood who, you know, if he tells you what time it is, get a second opinion. Gotta love it.
Fair. Okay. Ben Shapiro wants gay marriage outlawed. What the fuck is this asshole talking
Ben
about now?
Shapiro's been anti-LGBTQ forever. He says the Supreme Court should overrule the 2015 decision legalizing same-sex marriage. Now, he says he doesn't believe the court actually will. Now, wait a minute. I had two Supreme Court justices, right, who told Susan Collins that they believed in settled law and weren't gonna, right?
It's a precedent.
So, you know, this is standard.
Well,
right?
and the
Put
funny
in
thing
the-
is we have all 7 of these people's original declarations
Yeah.
on the, Roe v. Wade, and all of them said the same thing. That's settled law, settled law, settled law. Each and every one of them.
Yep.
Settled precedent, not to be fucked with.
Of course.
Each and every one of them just gave all of us the middle finger, and the fact that any of you out there are still surprised about this makes me angry. Why are
should
you
it surprise
surprised?
anybody that 2 of Trump's kangaroos lie?
I am
I
fucking
wasn't
thunderstruck.
surprised.
I can't believe Frankenstein's monster finally
Did Frankenstein's
tore
monster.
the top of the fucking fundraising engine off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if they outlaw Roe, a lot of their fucking money from the crazy kind of goes away.
This will be good.
Unless they're going after the other obvious targets.
So, anyway, this is how the next step always starts. Get a story or two out there in the press so people can talk about it and, argue back and forth. And the press
Some dress we can see is different colors.
The press can say, well, there are 2 teams, and
Yep.
right now team 1 is, a little bit in the lead and so forth.
You know,
and
it's
so
times
on.
like this I worry about giving them good ideas, but I'd be looking to launch, if I were working for the devil, I would be looking to find a bunch of stories of professors fucking students, because that's everywhere. And you could just publish a shit ton of them. Just make it all creepy, and that's why you shouldn't send your daughters to college.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody needs to get a little bit dumber so they can be a little bit safer.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that seems like a terrible
A
way to
little bit
get either.
A little bit safer for the Nazis, anyway.
Right.
No, I'm going to say something very quickly, and then we're going to move on. Women, it is time to return to traveling in packs aggressively. If you are not in a pack of 3 or more, you are unsafe. End of discussion. No questions asked.
Don't fuck the pro-life boys.
Yeah.
Don't fuck the incel kids.
Get
Well,
away
they're
from
already doing that.
these
Continue,
online.
carry on thus.
Yeah, these online dating services. Get out of them now. They
Yeah.
are not going to be safe from here
No,
on
you
in.
get first-hand of toxic masculinity.
This
that
is getting
he's in charge
dangerous.
Or what?
So,
No, you're not
We're not
interested.
actually talking to the individual.
Don't
We're
breathe.
talking to the people fighting in the holes left and right of them. Like, cover your friend better.
Yeah.
Talk them out of shitty boyfriends faster, earlier, whatever.
If you lose your friend in the club, you do not leave that spot
Yeah.
until you find her ass, or you call the cops and
That
have
for
them
sure.
help find her.
I'm saying later on when she's asking about Derek or whatever. Sorry,
Yeah.
the 3 good Dereks. I guess there might be, but
Then you tell her there's not a single
Yeah.
good story about Derek.
yep, he's a
Right.
shithead.
Have an intervention.
guys-
Get all her friends
Frame
together,
it.
go out for a drink, and tell her to ditch the bitch.
Guys, be honest with your girlfriends too about your BFF. If you know he's a little fucking creepy, fucking
Yep.
let them know up front. Don't hook them
Good
up.
idea. You're right. This half of this is up to
shit,
guys.
fuck yeah.
A large, more so. It is a
Just
bigger
catch her
portion
at the
of
water
it.
fountain and say you don't want to date that asshole.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right? You don't
And
know
tell
how he
her
talks.
details why.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
give a fuck if you're breaking your friend's confidence or whatever. He is not a good friend, first of all. And second of all, you could save a life. Keep that in mind. Okay.
Yep.
And let's move on to...
And we'll assume that he's an acquaintance, not a friend.
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
This is
If
someone
they
you
behave
know
like
at
that, they
work or
shouldn't be your
whatever.
friend.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Boomerrex is about damn time. What's going on here?
So, journalist A.L. Press tells the Washington Post's Margaret Sullivan that he thinks the mainstream media bears a good deal of blame for the disastrous state of politics.
That's
On women's rights specifically, right?
And everything else. But yeah, this was specifically on women's rights. With the Supreme Court set to overturn 5 decades of precedent, one of the great successes of the anti-abortion movement was to stigmatize this very common medical procedure. If you have a miscarriage,
Yeah.
you're almost certainly going to get a D&C to make sure you're clean inside. If you have an ectopic pregnancy, you're
Yeah.
going to, right? So anyway,
By the way, for those of you who don't know, an atopic pregnancy is when the egg gets stuck in the fallopian tube, but then also gets seeded, so it starts growing. And there's absolutely no way to move that fetus into the uterus. It is completely an unviable pregnancy. Unviable. There's no saving it.
Yeah.
What happens when you allow these pregnancies to continue is women die. End of
Yep.
discussion.
Yep.
There's no
This is
saving
one
them.
of those things, science and surgery and reproducible
all that
results
stuff
got you.
the right.
All the
doesn't
stuff you
believe in.
didn't want to go and learn about, and that's fine.
Incidentally, I know a
Stuff
woman
you
who
because
had
they
one,
did.
and they are exceedingly painful.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it is a horrendous way to die. Literally, your insides tearing apart.
well, she didn't die. I think she probably waited too long to go to the doctor.
But I'm saying, going forward, this will kill
Yeah.
women.
This will kill women, absolutely. Anyway,
And add 10,000 Texans a day. Wow.
and so the press immediately adopts not some neutral way of saying it, but they just jump on that pro-life, and so it's always the pro-life versus the right. And in fact,
Versus
it was the
pro-choice.
anti-choice folks, but they were always happy to say pro-life, and this just kept on. They labeled doctors abortion doctors.
Yep.
That's one
Halfway
out of 200 of the procedures he's involved in, right? It just, and he said, of course, they're being far too gentle on Susan Collins.
Absolutely. That's a human being who should have company every time she goes somewhere. Ask how she feels about. Hey, weren't you the lady that smoothed it all over for Kavanaugh and all them? Because they told you and you looked deep in their eyes and saw their soul. No, wait. That's baby Bush and Putin. Fuck.
Yeah.
You're an elected official who claims to care about this. You need to do better than to tell your constituents you were giving an assurance. Yep. So, if Roe v. Wade is overturned, it's the Susan Collins betrayal. Yep. That's what it is.
Yep. All right. Dumbass of the day. Who gets the crown today?
Well, I mean, it's the standard thing, right? It's Republicans looking for the next step, right? I'm sorry, Republicans. So, here's Greg Abbott. You remember him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, Abbott's probably figuring the war on women is won. It's time to go back to the war on brown people. So he discussed border security and agreed with the host's claim that the children of undocumented immigrants place a real burden on the communities. And so what he wants to do is challenge the Supreme Court ruling that says every child is eligible for a free public education, right? So they can now keep some children out of school. And the next step, of course, would be the LGBTQ, right? Because they're just not normal. So anyway,
we don't believe that. That's just
it'll probably be right. I'd look for a push from their doctors to go back to classifying as a medical condition.
Yeah, there you go.
Because then you're covered by all of the other right. No, we don't.
Yeah, you're protecting people from the medical condition.
Yeah.
No,
them because they need special whatever, right? That I would just make them the bubble wrap kids, and so they're so expensive. No school has the proper whatevers, and that's just tragic. Bye.
So anyway, again, the war on women is won. Time to go back to the war on brown folks.
Yeah.
right.
No, I would look for it, right, because part of our thing, they're going to do horrible shit. I would look for at least an intellectual capacity on par with the trap laws.
Yeah.
Right, where they actually did. Right, you can look at some of this and tell there really are some minds over there, because they come up with some good bullshit.
Well, another thing you have to remember is that, even our registered or whatever you want to call them immigrants that are here perform an important part of our society. They do jobs that most of us would rather not do or not think about or, whatever. And they do them for cheap and they do them under the table. So these companies get a lot of cheap labor and whatever the case may be, which is wrong and bad and should be dealt with. However, this is something that's been happening forever here in America, literally forever.
To supply, right, a supply and demand thing.
Yeah.
Right, punishing. Right, we're not even vaguely touching demand.
Right.
No, I think
that was how we lost the war on drugs. I don't care if we learn nothing. We have to learn something from one of the wars we've lost in my lifetime. Just one thing. I don't really care what it is.
Agreed. And this is just not a appropriate way to go about this. Making children not be able to go to school just keeps those people from being able to work and makes it harder and makes life more whatever. And all these shortages we're having, all these things y'all are complaining about, it's only gonna get worse because Americans are not having children at the rate that you want them to because you aren't making it affordable. End of discussion. And now you're gonna force women to become these birth baby machines, okay? And that's gonna cause its own problems because the suicide rate's gonna skyrocket among pregnant women.
And it'll shrink the economy.
And,
familial groups will do communal spending.
Yeah.
So
now let's pause there for a minute because there's a thought there that the American oligarchs need to hear, which is you have scooped up all the money. And now you're looking and you're saying, well, the markets aren't getting bigger and we're not growing and we're
Right.
So there's a really easy way to fix that. Get your asses taxed so that the states and the federal government can do infrastructure and so forth and so on, and people can be paid higher wages who will then be able to afford the Chinese stuff that you're importing.
Yep.
And the economy will grow, right? So you've gone too far, guys. I admit, we all admit you won the game. You've got the biggest pile of money. You are not going to like the trophy.
Yeah.
But
On the other end of this. Nope.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work out the way they planned, and a little bit I'm happy to watch this ticking time bomb slowly come down to zero. So
Even rats are smart enough to know
to get off the
when to
sinking
jump
ship.
ship.
No. When rats wrestle, bigger rats let smaller rats win 1/3 of the time, or smaller rats don't play wrestle anymore.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's adorable.
I've seen dogs and cats do that.
Yeah, no, it's on the list of things we know to test
Yeah.
for, to be like, oh, that's a...
And dogs and puppies
That's not
do
a
it
food
all
animal.
the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, cats, also kittens. They learned that if they bite, well, you can actually bite train your puppy. This is a fun thing. I used to train dogs. When they bite you, what you do is you pull your hand away. You say, first of all, you say, ouch, really loud. You pull your hand away and you turn away from them. Play stops.
Yeah.
This is simulating how puppies play with each other, right? If a puppy bites another puppy too hard, that puppy's going to be like, we're not playing for a few minutes. And then they go back. So the dog learns, oh, if I put my mouth on something, I can't bite down. I can't
Right.
cause pain. And
Oh,
it learns pressure. So that's called bite training. So just some
There you go.
FYI
Look,
from
That's a
Risen.
not bummer thing we told you.
yeah.
That's
No.
why you should send us money.
Yeah,
Right.
and
So we can buy an airship.
if
Yeah.
you want more
In a drone arm.
Like
dog
the
training tips,
Stealth Drug Lab.
ask me.
Yeah.
I got it
We'll
all.
go look. We'll go and save
We'll go
all
look
the
for
kids
them.
and save
Yes.
them. Yeah.
Right.
Holy shit! Shut up. No, that's what we should do. Switch teams, go full on batshit crazy lunatic, fucking fluoride kid all the way.
Yeah.
But then take all of their money, get the airship, and who fucking cares? If it's all gonna burn anyway.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh shit, we're still recording.
All right, so don't forget to
Yeah,
go to
you let the
Boomer
cat out of the
Tonight on
bag.
Facebook, no spaces. You'll get to see all of our fun comments we've been getting, and we've been having a good time. Okay, so Herschel Walker plans to skip another debate as others
would
follow
him.
suit.
Well,
What's
that
going
was
on?
certainly my response. Was if there's anybody who ever needed to skip a
Right.
debate, it would be Herschel Walker. The problem is, as the MAGA crowd is running dumber and dumber and dumber and dumber and crazier and crazier and crazier candidates, they've got to keep them out of the public eye. So, first of all, the right word for anybody who skips a debate is coward. And that's what Herschel Walker should
Well, what
be
about that
called
one
in
dude we were
public.
talking about that was talking about skipping debates because the other side was so dumb? Do you remember that?
Vaguely, but I'm. Look, I want real debates. That's never gonna happen. So let's have the bullshit, shitty debates we have anyway.
So anyway, Herschel Walker's skipping his second one. Ted Budd has skipped 4 Republican primary debates in his bid for a U.S. Senate seat from North Carolina. GOP candidates for governor in Ohio, Nevada, and Nebraska have refused to engage their opponents.
Hey, that's what I would advise if I was a Republican operative who hadn't yet found, like, how the fuck do you keep going? Like, I have no idea how you get up every morning other than, like, bills.
Yeah, something.
But, yeah, I wouldn't advise
Yeah,
them
when
to
you
go
got a
debate.
candidate like Walker,
Yeah.
the right advice to give him is
Do
to
not be
stay
in
out
front of
the public view.
microphones.
Yeah.
What are you doing? They're going to ask you something. You're going to make something up. We're going to have to figure out how to turn fucking word salad into
Yep.
anything.
Yep.
Didn't seem to stop Trump, though.
I don't think it would hurt them as bad. Like, I think maybe this is just like when we pretend that the German scientist, like, tried to sabotage getting the bomb as opposed to bad at math. But maybe they're afraid. That's what the operatives are afraid of, is that people will realize it doesn't matter. They can go out and sound like a wrestler with a head injury, and it's okay. They'll still get the vote.
As long as they kiss Trump,
Yep.
whatever.
They hate the right people. Yeah.
Sorry, my allergies are particularly bad today.
So
No, I
anyway,
think we
next
have
up is when Roe v. Wade goes away, what you're going to see is state versus state,
Yeah.
right? So you've already got Missouri weighing legislation that would allow individuals to sue anyone who helped a patient cross state lines. So modeled on the Texas thing, and restricting travel for pregnant women and so on.
Can we stop?
Um,
Can we
you know,
make it
this
illegal
is-
to hire
this is
graduates
where
from
we're
certain
headed.
schools?
They didn't pass it this year, but hang on.
That's what I would do. The thing that certifies colleges and stuff,
Uh-huh.
I'd start looking to decertify me some colleges from shitty places.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, there are major national corporations who need to understand that anti-abortion laws and restrictions on travel and stuff like that are anathema to your stated corporate values. Move your goddamn organization out of the red states.
So
And
what?
if you don't do that, then we know you never believed your corporate values, which of course was probably true.
Yeah.
But hey, it's becoming obvious.
So what I'm going to say here is that I've seen a lot of people argue the point of, well, just because they can't get an abortion here, they can go somewhere else where they can get an abortion, and that's fine. This is so y'all understand they can't go somewhere else to get an abortion. These specific states are going to make it illegal for them to do so. Okay? So that's not going to be an option, which means it is a forced pregnancy and there is literally nothing they can do except maybe get a back alley abortion that could potentially give them an infection and kill them, overdose on some birth control.
Well, and when they show
pills,
up at the hospital
hopefully
report it to the state,
causing a
and they'll go
miscarriage.
from the hospital to a prison to
This
await
is
their trial.
This is
If
insane.
the school to prison pipeline wasn't delivering enough.
So
School to
all
prison
y'all
pipeline?
whose argument right now is they can just go somewhere else. No, they won't be able to.
No,
So,
and that's a white
keep that in
privilege
mind.
argument.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
You know, fully half of the people who would have wanted abortions do not have the wherewithal to travel to another state and get an abortion.
Yep.
Right? So, Planned
Or travel there
Parenthood,
twice.
There's a place.
And the number of states that have a ridiculous waiting period.
Right. No, it's what
No,
it is.
so much of this is predicated on an incredibly comfortable position, right? Even Idiot's draft argument talks about the guaranteeing this and that and the other.
Yeah.
When 95% of people, the only thing they have is the Family Medical Leave Act, and that just promises they won't fire you.
Right.
They don't have to pay you.
No, when I was on medical leave after I had my son, I didn't get a dime. I was allowed
Yeah.
to continue to pay for my insurance,
Yeah.
but if I couldn't pay for it while I was on, they took it out of my when I went back, they took a percentage out until
Yeah.
I was paid off for what I had missed.
Yep.
So, no,
And I only had a month.
Yeah.
They would have let me go if I had taken more than a month, but I had gotten a thing from my doctor, so I was able to get an extra week or two, but I had to get a specific note from my doctor due to a car accident I had been in on the job.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that. Let's move on. The rot is deep.
I'm going to skip that one.
Oh.
I think at this point, everybody in the world knows that QAnon has taken over the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
there's some
their
new
views
information
are
that it's not a
anathema.
small thing anymore.
Their
It's
views are
spreading.
anathema to America. They are undemocratic.
Yep.
They are un-American. They're all those things.
They're every bad
and
boss you've ever had.
reciting it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's move on to updates with BoomerRex climate weirding.
So this one I thought was particularly sad. So there's a huge wildfire in northern New Mexico.
I saw that.
This is in the region of New Mexico where I can tell you from personal experience, you can stop at any little mom and pop restaurant anywhere and have absolutely superb food.
Mm-hmm.
It's northern New Mexico preserves a number of food traditions that, you know, if you get close to Texas, you get Texican, right, which is inedible. And you go to a big city like Albuquerque, and you've got all these corporate interpretations of traditional.
You've got various chain things.
Yeah.
Everything
But-
that's not that wonderful little burger joint we found.
Yeah.
There was a
So
90-mile
good.
section where everywhere was good Mexican food. I mean, everywhere.
I like good Mexican
And
food.
They were, they were family recipes. They were cooked and served generally by family.
Yeah.
So this is an area that has had a Latino American presence for literally hundreds of years, where they have preserved big chunks of that culture that you really can't find anywhere else anymore. And now the wildfire is coming for them.
No.
So thousands.
Bad wildfire, bad.
Thousands have refused to flee. They've been told to evacuate, and they said no. They've chosen to stay to defend generational homes in the mountains of northern New Mexico,
Yar.
even as they run out of food and water. So, Mora County, population 4,500, about 60% of the residents in the evacuation zones have remained to fight for their family holdings.
Well, I guess where we're at right now in society, if they lose this, they are fucked for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely.
So they might as well die with it and fucking Godspeed.
Yep.
Seriously.
Good luck.
Good
Tony
luck.
Monkeys.
So anyway,
We are praying for you,
New Mexico National
seriously.
Guard, you should drop them a pallet of food.
To whatever universe or gods, whatever may be, or nothing maybe. Maybe we're just praying into the depths of the emptiness and
but
hoping
maybe
that
the
something
emptiness
comes back.
listens.
I'm hoping.
Hey,
I'm
emptiness,
really
it's about to
hoping.
be sad. You should come check this out.
So
But-
Matthew Probst says of the residents, that it's high social vulnerability, right? They own a $15,000 mobile home outright, but no homeowner's insurance and very few financial resources. And if that burns, they're done.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I said, yep.
So, good on you for wanting to fight. God protect you.
I don't know. Can they just burn out a big triangle?
Well,
Yeah,
let's
I
send
think
some
you
more
can
airplanes.
burn out. I think you can wet down. I think, but
Yeah.
I think that's all you can do is really sprinkle your house. You know what I mean? Set
Yeah.
the sprinklers on your house and hope you don't run out of water. Hopefully their wells are deep.
Yep.
Hopefully they're on wells.
Yeah.
Because
Well, they are.
everywhere that's on town water is going to be very sad very quickly.
Well, at this point, there's no electricity. So, anyway,
Yeah.
again, these are historic wildfires for New Mexico, right? And this is another one of those effects of climate weirding. And it begins to show you that the effect isn't just that you've got less rain and so forth. It's that you're destroying ways of life.
Yeah.
Right? That worked before and may not work now.
Well, and we'll now apply negative pressure to more negative pressure to the Amazon wages and
Yeah.
make all of the workers more replaceable. Right? You want to know why it's not my fucking department is the thing you can hear from American customer service now? Because their bosses have made it abundantly fucking clear that they're replaceable. Which means the job itself has to be replaceable.
Now, for those of you who don't understand how widespread this wildfire problem is, there's an app, and I never talk about apps. I don't support apps here, but there's an app that I have. It's called My Radar, and it's a weather app. And what it does is it allows you to turn on different things. One of the things I have turned on mine is fires. And all you have to do is blow it up big so you can see the whole country, turn on the fires.
And
It's
zoom in on the one you're
everywhere.
interested in.
Yeah.
They are absolutely everywhere. It's how I keep track of the fires we have around us. It's how I keep track of the fires in California where I have friends,
Yeah.
the New Mexico fires. It shows you, when you zoom in, it'll show you the outline of it and where it is and when it was first reported, the
Yeah.
last reporting. It gives you all the updates on it, what it's doing, what the recommendations are. It's very helpful. So for those of you who might live in an area where maybe you don't have wildfires as a problem, this app will really show you the insanity that is happening, because I've had this app for years. Never have I seen so many
It looked like
of the
that.
little fire symbols all over the map. It is crazy.
The other thing you can download, I think it's from Incineweb, is a plug-in for Google Earth. that includes the boundaries of the fires and so forth, but it also includes the MODIS detections of the fires, right, of the infrared from the fires. So you can see where it's really burning hot, where the leading edge is and so on. So,
Yikes.
All right.
Yeah.
So
got a lot of data. What we need to do is fly some airplanes.
we've been talking about Roe v. Wade a lot, right? We've been talking about the liberal side and the media end and what's going on, what's going right, what's going wrong.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what Republicans are saying about Roe v. Wade being on the chopping block.
Okay.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Because they're terrified.
Do you want to know what they find so important? Who leaked it? How
Well, and
dare
again-
someone disrupt this sacred office's duty by sharing the info that has since been confirmed as fact? Maybe even by the guy or gal who leaked it. The speculation has been rampant about who done it, as if the info in this document is too holy to read before the court is willing to release it to them, to release it themselves. Okay. Mainly Republicans blame a random lib that works here. Okay.
Yeah.
But Dems have other thoughts about who might have done it. Asshole, you and I were discussing this recently.
Indeed.
I figure I can open this up to you. You have more info on your side.
No, I think I've heard good arguments that this was leaked to lock in the crazy vote. To test the waters, to have us have a bunch of argument before anything happens.
Yeah.
And then when it does actually happen, it'll feel like old
It's
news.
old news, yeah. Well, it's
We got
clear
rid of this.
why
We
they're,
had 6
it's
months.
clear why they're babbling about the release of the argument is that they really, really, really don't want to talk about an end to Roe v. Wade.
No.
Right. So they lose across the board.
Yeah, that is not a popular issue with the right. They need suburban women.
Yep.
And-
Right, but they've turned whoever released this into a pariah.
oh yeah.
Actually, Department of Justice says it's probably not a crime
Yeah.
of any kind. So,
Well, especially considering what was leaked was factual, and was it Justice Alito who said it's the real deal? Yes, that is correct. And however, how dare whoever release it? I'm on Team Alito. I think he did
I
this.
think Alito and Kavanaugh went to the same acting coach.
Hey,
So-
retreat into the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
No, the fact that he.
roaches
Oh,
were
yeah.
waiting to turn the lights on.
And,
Oh yeah, it's totally real. But how dare the person release it? Why would you have admitted it was real if you didn't want it
Yeah.
released?
And if the information was actually in some way legally restricted, releasing it to the press for publication is probably protected by the whistleblower laws in any case.
Fair.
But again, Department of Justice says they don't see any crime here. So
Good. I hope we see more leaks like this in the future. Good
Well,
job.
now it's on the marshal of the court.
Yep.
Unless somebody admits to it, they're not ever going to learn anything.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was important for everybody to understand that right now all the Republicans care about is who and why. And most of Fox News is all about it's some lib. That's the word that's being thrown around again.
Yeah.
Aye, liberal was a good choice for them in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Aye, the
Not
Democrats
anymore.
were genuinely the fuck afraid of it. Yeah. Aye, most of the kids I know are trying to find something beyond right. They're hovering around leftist and
Is there a
Progressive.
stronger word we can use, people? We got to find one. Think.
reports from the socialist kids. Still haven't sold me on it. It's like the Satanists. God love them. Right, some of my favorite fucking humans, but seems like a rhetorically an uphill battle for not a lot of yardage.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they're on the team.
I am curious to see what the Satanists do with this. In the past, they have gone and said it's part of my religious belief to be able to get abortions, and have fought and succeeded in a
some
lot
carve-outs.
of their arguments.
Yeah, they have.
So,
Yeah.
what I want to do is see how they react to this retraction of
Speaking
Roe
of
v.
why I love
Wade.
the Satanists, they have some great fucking lawyers.
Oh
yeah,
my
and they
God,
were so
yes.
good at going and telling Boston they wanted to fly
Yep.
the flag. I love that.
No, and it's the group from Oklahoma, or did the Oklahoma one, where the 10 Commandments were going to be up, and okay, Satan's like, cool, we get to make a statue, and instead of any of the like fun but short-sighted like rude things I'd have done,
Yeah.
they made theirs a library.
Oh.
It's a little free library.
It's cute. It's really
And
sweet.
fuck yes, no, god damn it, Satanist, that's right.
So
You're
again,
better than me in that.
if
Because
you
I
are
was visualizing,
Right.
Neptune.
if you're a Satanist or you know a Satanist, send them in our direction. If you are a Satanist, get in touch with me.
Yeah.
I would love to have a friend Satanist so I can,
Bounce things
find
off
out
ya.
what's going on. What are you guys doing? What are
What's
you
with
up
the
to?
Satanists? What's up with your
I
group of
would
Satanists?
love to maybe give you, an email interview or something, and I can read it. So please, if you're listening and you're a Satanist, I want to
DMs
hear
are
from
open.
you. Risen Lady Heathen's all about this. I want
All
to
right.
know more. Maybe you can turn me. I don't know. I'm not going to say yay or nay. I'm going to say, talk to me, please. So,
Right.
don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, heart, follow, review. Go to BoomerRexTonight, no spaces on Facebook for fun memes. I've been working hard on these memes. People get out
Send
there
me
like
double
'em.
bags full of money. I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't forget to look for our memes or
Even a
for our
bag half full of money would
for
be
our links to
appreciated.
Patreon. Jesus. Give us $1. We need all the dollars we can get. Just
Milk
$1.
cake full of Bitcoins.
Airship.
You can find us on YouTube as Boomer Rex, or check your favorite podcasting service for Boomer Rex Tonight. We can be found on over a dozen different platforms, including
But not limited to.
I was gonna say that. You fucking stop. Get out of my head. Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Samsung Podcasts. And hit us up on Twitter at BRexTonight.
That'll part two clear.
Right.
So would be required.
We love you all,
Good
and
weekend.
We'll
just
see you again tomorrow night.
remember,
Content's under
shit is weird now, but we are all in this together, and together we can overcome this ignorance by voting and
Absolutely.
knowledge and spreading knowledge and facts and not spreading crap memes that are
Remember,
not
we're in this
true.
together.
So we love
Nobody
y'all.
else
We'll
likes
see you
us.
back here tomorrow on Boomer Rex Tonight.
All right.
Bye.